Hey, me Matt here, and NXT Roadblock, I just finished it. Obviously, it was last night, and yeah, I know that I said for Wheels of Fury that we wouldn't do shows like this. I mean, it's just a regular NXT show, kind of like Winter's Coming and all that, but this was a good show. I really enjoyed it, and the matches were creative. And so, yeah, I think that hopefully Stand and Deliver is going to be just as good. We already know who's going to have matches in that, yeah, I think that hopefully Stand and Deliver is going to be just as good. We already know who's going to have matches in that, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we got Tony D'Angelo versus Dijak, and this was a jailhouse street fight, which was very cool. You have Stax, Lorenzo, in Tony's corner. Obviously, this match pulled no punches. I guess point to this match was you have to incapacitate your opponent and throw them in a cell. Hence the name Jailhouse. So this was cool. There's some chairs, obviously. You have Dijak put the Dawn through a table. There was a Feast Your Eyes. Yeah, basically, Tony had tried to rip the fingers, which was taped up in a glove. And yeah, that didn't seem to work either. And so there was a point where you have Stax sacrifice himself, and that didn't work. It did eventually after, you have the Don take a crowbar and basically beat the shit out of Dijak with it. Which, you have him throw Dijak into the cell and close the gate and basically won the match. So, I mean, it was a good match. Yeah, I know. There was a point where Dijak chokeslammed Tony on the chairs. I believe it was Dijak and Stax being held hostage inside the cell. And basically, the referee got distracted long enough I think it was Dijak that gave Tony a low blow, which obviously Tony remembered too.
We're a fucking cup!
So, this was a good match, and we'll see what happens at Stand and Deliver. I'm pretty sure this feud's not done yet. You have the Endless Shear, who lost to Braun Breaker and the Creed brothers. Now, I thought it was cool to see these two teams in similar outfits. You have the blue signets from the Creed brothers, and obviously the blue signet, and Breaker in red letters for Braun. This was very cool, and yeah, very Haas fight, if you will. And basically, Braun got the win for his team. So that was cool. It was a good match. And then later on, obviously you have Carmelo Hayes, who was in the commentary booth. He came out after Braun called him out, and they're going to have a match for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's the first match so far. You have the long-awaited Gigi Dolan versus JC Jade. This was pretty cool, and yeah, these two really beat the shit out of each other. You have Gigi do the roll-up for the win, and then afterwards you have JC take a chair and she's gonna put it around Gigi's neck. She goes on the top rope, the refs come and basically pull her off. She goes out of the ring and she's like, it's not over. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a match at Stand and Deliver. I don't know if there's going to be a stipulation. I'm pretty sure there is, but we'll see. You have Joe Gacy versus Andre Chase. The backstage, you have a meditation segment with Taya and Tyler Bate, and this was cool as well. And obviously, Taya and Chase leave, and Duke Hudson confronts Tyler and saying that you're fake, so whatever that means. You have the match with Joe Gacy and Andre Chase, and of course Schism is there. And then you have Taya and Duke in Chase's corner. This was pretty cool, and you didn't know what was going to happen. And yeah, you have Taya confront Rain, which I guess distracted Chase, and Joe Gacy got the win. Then you have Schism stand tall. So backstage, you have Duke Hudson confront Chase and Taya, which kind of figured that would happen, but this was a good match all around, and obviously a huge fan of Schism. You have your main event, Roxanne Perez versus Meiko Satomura, and holy shit, this was a good match. And I mean, it goes to show you how cool that Meiko is. She's one of the best wrestlers on NXT for the women's division. Obviously, she did very well in NXT UK. Roxanne had an interview beforehand, and she's all hyper and just she's talking about how her heart's racing and all that stuff, which I'm pretty sure will lead into this match afterwards. We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, Roxanne was pretty much very hyped up for this match. I mean, this was like a different Roxanne Perez, and basically she almost did a pop rocks on the outside, and it didn't work. Obviously, you have her put Meiko onto the turnbuckle. You were almost gonna get a super Russian leg sweep, but that didn't work out. Turned into a power bomb. And yeah, this pretty much had everything in it. So, like, mat wrestling, you have a lot of outside spots, high flying, and this was cool. You have Roxy do the roll-up pin and retaining the title. So you have Meiko give her the title in honor of Japanese tradition, I guess. She holds up Roxy's hand, and Roxy collapsed. So yeah, Booker T coming into the ring, obviously a student of his. They have EMTs coming in, checking her out. Shawn Michaels is there. And yeah, the show closes, her being loaded into an ambulance. Now, I don't know if this is a shoot or work. We both know that Roxy was a completely different person. And I mean, she had to be, I'm sure. Meiko, again, like I said, one of the best wrestlers in NXT. So, yeah, this was actually pretty shocking. So, did you have Shawn Michaels be the guest on Grayson Waller's show? And yeah, Grayson wants to wrestle Shawn Michaels, saying, the 10-year-old Grayson would have been all giggly tits and happy, but Grayson of now is basically, you shouldn't meet your heroes. This was kind of like a knockoff thing when Austin Theory confronted John Cena. So, okay. There's Shawn Michaels talking about how he doesn't have to wrestle anymore, how Grayson didn't really prove himself at Vengeance Day and lost the match to Braun in a steel cage. So he's not going to wrestle Shawn Michaels at Stand and Deliver. Instead, it's going to be Mr. Wrestling himself, Johnny Gargano. So Johnny Gargano comes out, and Grayson Waller basically leaves afterwards. It makes a lot of sense, though, because Johnny Gargano, one of the most famous fans of Shawn Michaels, so that should be fun. So yeah, Stand and Deliver, you're gonna have Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. You're gonna have Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller. So, and we'll wait and see what happens with Roxanne. I don't know. Anyways, so that was NXT Roadblock. Kind of felt like I had a roadblock. But anyways, yeah, we'll talk to you, Wheels of Fury, first installment of WrestleMania Look Back At. So, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews,